Hello, and welcome to the Velvet Revolution, a conversation for everyone with everyone. And as promised in our trailer, which we've just done for season two, we are trying to make the movement more inclusive and get as many of you involved as possible. So before I go any further, I'm gonna big up the website, which is www.thevelvetrevolutionpod.com, and our email, which we keep dropping every now and then, but we're going to make it front and center. Write to us at joinus@thevelvetrevolutionpod.com. You know, we want everyone to be part of the movement, be that in sound, in print, or in spirit.
Oh my God, can I just interject? That sounds really prim and proper.
Does it?
Yeah. Like
That's
official. It sounds like it's getting dark, man. It's getting moody.
Yeah, I think we might have reached that point where we've become
Not
too
sure.
commercial. We might
Yeah,
need
no.
to go a bit more lo-fi and
We need
drag
to
it back somehow.
we need to pull it back, mate. This is fucking
Yeah,
getting a bit scary for my lighting. I'm not grooving it. But I like what we're doing. I like what
don't
we're
I
trying
don't know
to
what you're doing. You're interjecting, and I haven't even introduced you yet. So
Oh,
I
okay.
think come on, let's professionalize this back up. So my name is Ben Rice, and I'm joined as ever by my co-pilot Dave Noble. How are you, Dave?
I'm all right. Yeah, thanks for asking. We don't do snazzy edits. These are raw and unapologetically unedited. We refuse to do it. Even, if there's too much swearing, fuck it. It don't matter. There's swearing in here. If we say the wrong things, we're human. Sorry about that. No editing is going on in here. If you haven't worked that out already. And we just free flow and go where it goes. So yeah, I was going to say we might need to do an edit on that first intro bit. No, I'm joking. We try and veer away from convention and all that. We did have a chat, didn't we? I'm going to be honest. We had a chat actually before we hit record about do we, are we meant to be doing it like everyone else? And I think what we've concluded is fuck that shit.
No.
No chance. So we're just doing the obvious things of dropping in, comms. So if anyone wants to get in touch, but because we want to do that still, we want people to get involved. So that's what we're doing. Anyway, I'm all right, man. I'm good. How am I feeling? Let's get into the how am I feeling on the intro, on the check-in. How am I feeling? I'm feeling pretty damn good, actually. Why am I feeling pretty damn good? I want to share this with everyone. I want to share it with you. I've already shared it with you, Ben, actually. I'm starting to get into, people might hear a theme here. I've talked about horses. I've talked about swimming in the ocean in the wilds, but there's a common thread. It's all linked into, you know, primitive stuff, right? Is that the right
I've
word for it?
Yeah, I've listened to quite a few of our episodes in the past few weeks, and it does feel like, as my sort of descent into physical
Mm,
incapabilities, you're sort of it's like we are rewilding, Dave. That's what you're doing. You're
yeah,
becoming slowly the Bushman and disappearing into
yeah.
the distance.
Well, I am Wild Man Dave.
Wild man, Dave.
Yeah. So I have been getting into the concept and the role because I'm actually starting to act out on this. Because I like to talk about stuff, but I also like to do it. So I don't
Mhm.
just talk about it, I actually do it. Um, been starting to work with wood. Yeah.
There's quite a pause there. Sorry. Yes, you are. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, starting to work with wood. So yesterday I was out for a walk with a friend in a vast estate, wooded estate. Saw a deer. My mate actually thought it was a kangaroo. I mean, how daft is that? Sorry if you're listening, but what the fuck? A kangaroo? We're in the West Country of the United Kingdom, and they saw a flash of grey. It was a Bambi. It was a little muntjac. It
Why
was
did they think it was a kangaroo?
because of the way it bounced.
Uh, they're not Antipodean themselves. There's no sort of.
Don't anyway, but it was quite funny. But and I came across we was in when you go walking in the woods, yeah. When was the last
Hmm.
time you went walking in the woods, Ben?
When was it? A couple of weeks ago, let's say.
Okay. But when you go walking in the woods, I don't know if they've got them out your way, but when they do logging, they have to cut a certain amount of the forest down for whatever reason. Whether it's
Yeah, yeah, you have to go to proper forest for that, don't you?
well,
Yeah,
that's where we were.
right.
And there was like an offcut. There's some offcut bits that naturally come away when they remove the trees and put them into the piles. And you got little splinters, but a splinter of a big tree is quite a significant chunk of a splinter.
Yeah.
And I saw it. I was like, "Ooh, that's a chair leg."
Are you going to get? I mean, are you going to get one of
You,
those
s-
machines
you,
that
c-
was they
you, c-
could does the turning wood
you can
turning
see where
machine?
this is going, right?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm not going to get into all the machine stuff. Maybe I
Okay.
will, right? But because I bought a crafts knife,
Yeah,
I bought my dives knife. Now I've got a
yeah,
craft knife. I've got another one ordered.
yeah.
I'm going to get a chisel, so I'm going to start working with wood. I'm going to start to carve, create, build like furniture.
Okay.
So I'm looking out into how to treat wood and, you varnish it. You got to seal it, weather it, all of that stuff. I don't really know what I'm talking about yet, but I'm looking into it. So I'll probably talk more about it as I go. But that's why I'm feeling I don't know, there's something about, I picked up this bit of wood and I thought it's kind of like tapping into my creativity
Hmm.
and that primal thing of like, I'm going to make something from this. And so I took it
Yeah.
and it's dried out already overnight and I'm going to clean it up. Not too much. I want to keep it as it is. But it looks wicked. I wanted to show you, but I haven't got it. It's in the garage. But it's a nice chunk of wood.
Okay.
So I'm going to collect, I'm going to go out. It's going to make mean that I can go out walking and collect all these bits of wood, start putting stuff together and make stuff with them. So I'm
Nice.
working with tools in my hands. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
So because of that, I'm feeling really, really great. Yeah,
Okay.
awe inspiring.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like that. I
Anyway,
definitely. Yeah.
yeah, that's me.
Okay.
How are you? How are you?
I am. I'm going to make a disclaimer that all the way through this episode, I may sneeze at any point. I've got that sort of itchy nose thing that keeps on making me think I'm about to sneeze.
I thought
Uh,
you'd given that up.
what
That
sneezing?
no, that
The-
powder that you
I,
give.
I never started, mate. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh
uh, I had a rubbish cold for about 2 3 days, and the only thing that's making me feel really good and better today is that I've my flatmate's woken up with a really bad cold today. So
flatmate Dave.
flatmate Dave has got the
Oh
cold.
man.
So yeah, I'm sharing the love. That's what I like to see.
Mm,
But yeah, no, I've felt a bit rotten for the past couple of days. Had a few days on the sofa, being a bit snotty. Gilbert the alien again.
Gilbert the alien, yeah.
Yep. And but yeah, I hope I'm coming out of the side. I've got to go back to work tomorrow, so yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Oh,
So yeah, I haven't really done much. I've watched lots of films, some better than others. Am I allowed
mm.
to? Am I allowed to say something that I think is terrible?
Wait, so it's your opinion,
In
mate.
my
Well,
opinion,
put it this way.
the last Mission Impossible film is awful.
Oh, I watched that just not long ago. I rented it.
It was a
Uh,
real disappointment. I thought
yeah, they did. Do you know they filmed that at the same time as the other one?
I liked the other one.
Yeah, they filmed it back to back.
Right.
So it was kind of. I think I'm right in saying that they filmed it back to back. Sometimes people do that
Yeah.
because it's just they've got all the crew together and they smash it out.
Yeah.
And
No,
they did the first and the second one in one hit.
but they put all the good stuff in the first one, and the second one was just two
Yeah.
hours of.
It's
exposition, which was, yeah, I didn't like it.
I think it's because the editing. When you've got to edit that amount of film, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It's like tattoos, right? I went and got a tattoo with a mate once, and he wanted to get this tattoo, and I jumped, piggybacked him, and went, I want that tattoo as well. It was
right.
a little bit sloshed up.
Yeah,
And our mate Bullet, all right, Bullet, who is a tattooist, um, he used to, at that point, tattoo out of a room at the top of a pub. It's one of them sort of like moody, you know.
yeah,
And my mate Scott was like, you know, it was his idea, his tattoo. He was going to do it, and I jumped in and thought because I knew I'll get a better one on the first tattoo. By the time he has to do the second one, he'd be bored of it,
right.
right? And I was right
Yeah,
because mine came out really good, and Scott's wasn't. It was not as good as my one. So it's that.
yeah.
Sorry,
So no,
digress.
no. So yeah. So the second Mission Impossible latest film, which is it's got to be the final one, though, is definitely worse than the first one. And I have a theory about Mission Impossible films, which basically Tom Cruise is really good at holding on to stuff.
Yes, with a steel cable
Yeah,
strapped to him,
yeah, yeah. But I just think that most of the Mission Impossible films are him holding on to things really, really well.
with a
So
steel cable.
yeah, so that I reckon you could put like you could make maybe a 4 hour Mission Impossible film with just him holding on to stuff with a steel cable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that was disappointing. But then I saw a really good B movie called Crawl, which is this girl goes to get her dad out of his house in the middle of a hurricane
This is a horror
typhoon,
film, isn't it?
and it's basically these alligators because the storms like creating water in the house. He's stuck in the basement and he's been attacked by an alligator,
Oh, here we go.
and then there's just all these alligators in this house, and they have to get out. And it's and I really enjoyed that because it
Where
was
where was
really
it?
silly.
Where was it based?
America,
Of
deep
course.
South America. Yeah, that was good. I
Yeah,
enjoyed that
like
one.
the Everglades or somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, that was good fun. I enjoyed that a lot more than Mission Impossible Dead
Well,
Reckoning, Final Reckoning,
it's
whatever
kind
that one's called.
again, it's kind of you know what you're getting because it's a B movie, so you know it's going to
Yeah,
be like that. But when you
yeah,
go to a big Hollywood movie blockbuster, you want it to be you want to get your bang for your buck,
yeah. Which is
right?
why we bought it, why we watched it, because it was like we want something silly with lots of explosions, lots of chasing, and it wasn't. It was lots of everyone telling Tom Cruise he was the only person that could save the world. He
Yeah,
didn't hang on to enough stuff in that film. That's my problem. He didn't
yeah.
start hanging on to stuff until maybe 2.5 hours in.
I did watch it not so long ago, and if I'm honest, I haven't even got an opinion on it because I can't even remember. So
There
that
you go.
shows, yeah, yes, yeah. All right. Well, look, shall we? Should we get into it?
Yeah,
Should we do it?
yeah.
Okay then. So what are we on this week?
I believe we're on the letter H.
What did we do last time?
Uh, Last time we did, I literally just had it. We did grandiose last time, didn't we?
Oh yeah, grandiose.
And weirdly, if I'm looking at the H's, we've already highlighted two.
Well, it's your turn, right, to pick.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
what do you mean
Right.
what do you mean we've already done two?
Well, on the H's,
Oh, I know why. That was me.
because you just because we did hypersensitive last time.
I think I was in my mind, I was dovetailing them. I was talking about how hypersensitivity and hypercritical is like, you know, sister and brother.
Okay.
They're conjoined.
So
But
that
yeah.
leaves us with
So let me unread that.
which one?
Hypercritical, because we
Okay.
didn't really actually cover it. We just talked about it.
Okay.
All right. But I mean,
Mm,
we talk about a lot of stuff. As always, there's a lot of crossovers.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Get used to it, everyone.
Okay.
So, do you want to read them out?
Yeah, I do. I've been trying to do that. Honest, humility, hateful, hope, hopeless, hypersensitive, as you did last time. Happiness,
Mhm.
helpful, hurtful, and hypercritical.
There seems like there should be more. As always, it feels like there should be more. Okay. We're going to be going on this for eternity. Keep saying it. We are being serious, man. I've got nothing better to do. So, so
apart from whittle a leg chair.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So anyone listening, right? If you and I'm being really honest, deadly serious. If you have any that you feel would be good for us to cover, sling them in. All right. Join us at thevelvetrevolutionpod.com. Let's have them. All right.
Okay,
And we'll add them.
we will put them in.
And it doesn't have to be, it could be anything. Like I think I've already shared this. My bro, he, he's he's submitted XYZ.
Yeah, yeah. You
And
said that. Yeah.
I want to do the X that he
Okay.
suggested. If it lands on me or you, I don't know. Anyway, so what are you going to pick then, Mr. Rice?
What am I going to pick? I want to go for. I want to go for humility
Ooh, why?
because.
Humility or humidity?
Well, it'd be humidity if we were talking about that alligator film. Humility, which I believe is the act of sort of being humble, is it not?
I'm just reaching
There you go. There's a
for.
one that's not on there. Humble's not on there.
Why is that
Um,
not on there?
humility is
Isn't, well, humility is a version of being humble, right? Having humility is being humble.
yeah,
So that's maybe why, but I'm going to put it on anyway. But we definitely shouldn't cover that anytime soon.
okay.
So what did you say it meant?
Humility is the act of being humble, isn't it? Is having humility in your own actions.
Oh, there's lots of branches that could go off of this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you got a definition? Have you looked it up in a big book?
just looking it up, man. I'm not proclaiming to be an expert of wood yet,
Okay.
but I think,
You'll still have humility around your wood
but I
skills.
think branches is a fitting term for where we can go with this and what we can do with this, right? So humility.
Yeah,
All right. Let me just.
it's not being boastful, is it? It's not being an arrogant idiot.
Well, we've covered that a lot.
Mm.
Uh, I'm just looking in the book of words, right? None of this, like, oh, what was the robot? What does the robot think? I'm going to the book of words. Okay, hang on. So, humidity, the state of being humid, the amount of moisture in the air. Right, okay. Humility is just below it. The quality of being humble.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. So where's humble then? Let's just see what humble says. Just out of interest. Humbug. Humble. Humbug. False or misleading talk or behavior. Oh, you're being humbug. Right, humble. Having or showing a modest, being modest. Having or showing a modest or low opinion of your own importance, of low rank, not large or special. All right. So that could be interpreted in different ways. Having or showing a modest or low opinion of your own importance. So there's an insignificance to that, right?
Don't think for me. It's not. It's being aware. It's not. There's a
Self-aware or
yeah
being self-aware.
yeah. It's not. I would never put it humility as a self deprecating, although that might be there. like I wouldn't have it as a sort of you're really down on yourself. You know, you're not. You're just knocking yourself constantly and doing all that. You know, doing all that negativity. It's more about being more self aware and knowing that we all have a certain place, that
Hmm.
we all need to work uh, together as opposed to in opposition.
We're on the
That's
same level.
yeah, that's where humility works for me.
Yeah. Okay. Are we going to land on humility or humble? Because I'm going to get rid of the other. If not,
Humility. I'm going for humility.
okay. Let's get rid of humble. That's why humble wasn't on there. Okay. Humility. All right. So let me ask you a question then, Ben.
Okay, Dave.
Have you always had humility in your life?
Have I always been? No,
What?
no. I would say it's taken me a long, long time to become self-aware of my own strengths and weaknesses. And I would say there was a lot of time where I battled with uh, a huge level of self-doubt and a lack of self-worth. So it was then creating situations in my life where I would sell myself short or I would put up with things that I knew weren't good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think there's still a certain extent parts of my life I'm still doing that. But the bit I think that the parts of my life that really stick out for me growing up was relationship based, where I would be in a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship. It was enough that someone liked me rather than me saying whether this was a good relationship or not. And I would say there were points where that was both platonic and romantic relationships. So I'd say it was it was a long journey for me to discover what was really important for me, which meant that along the way I caused quite a lot of damage to other people and to myself in sort of trying to work that out. And yeah, sort of car crashed through quite a lot of different situations and relationships and situationships um, that left a sort of wake of carnage in the back in the back rear view mirror.
So, all right. Well, look, well done for owning that and being honest. It's what we do, isn't it?
Mm.
It's what we do. It's good. That's humility. That's humility right there. To be able to be honest, to be open and honest,
Uh-huh.
and willing to own it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, when did that come about?
When did what come about?
Or did you just suddenly wake up and go, "Oh, I'm going to be open, honest, and willing to own it"?
um, no, it was a slow progression to a big drop.
So you didn't just buy it online, your humility.
No, I tried. If they'd have sold a certificate online giving me like a 10-year guarantee, no money back, no questions asked, humility certificate, I would have bought that. There was definitely a point in my life, I would say probably from my late 30s, early 40s on, where I thought maybe, and this is probably where I was probably at my most arrogant, actually, where I was my least humble, even though I thought I had a much better take on where I was.
Hmm.
But I was at a point where I'd I'd learned certain things, whether that was books I'd bought and read, whether that was conversations I'd had with people. But I thought I knew myself. I knew I knew, for instance, I read the attachment theory book, which lots of people have read, and and I'd done the quiz, and you got your secure attachments, which are meant to be about 50%, and then you've got your avoidance and your insecure attachments or anxious attachments, and that's sort of meant to be everyone else. But then there is like a small group of like basically just dysregulated anxious avoidance, which is right at the bottom, which is basically me. And so I had this knowledge in my head that yes, I was desperate to be in a relationship. But the moment I got in a relationship and got what I needed, then I wanted to run away. And I did that for quite a while. And whenever you're in a cycle or pattern of behaviors that uh, that are sorry, let me reframe that because I do this a lot. I talk in general, and I should just talk about me. When I am in a cycle of behaviors in the past, and people point out to me that I'm doing things wrong or that I'm not good, I I tend to double down. I tend to. I think there was a level of no, I can work this out. I can do this on my own. And so for a number of years I was just doing this ridiculous sort of car crash, uh almost like a bumper car, just everything was just, yeah, was just chaos. And I'd go through the same pattern over and over and over again, and people, not enough people, I guess, because that's the thing. I thought it was interesting. We had a conversation with some people the other night, didn't we? And we were talking about behaviors, and my behaviors, I think, can be more subtle. I've kind of managed to live a life being addicted to relationships, addicted
Mm.
to sugar, and I haven't. I stopped drinking when I was 40, and there was like alcohol can be so destructive, and I just stopped. It never really caught me. Yeah, I could be a terrible drinker before then, and quite often drink to oblivion. But it wasn't until, uh, yeah, I just stopped. It just really didn't phase me, and nothing has ever, in those sort of terrible addictions, in the ones that people see as the most destructive, never really grabbed me. Whereas I've had a much more acceptable level of addictions, which is things that people go, oh, have a bit more cake, you know,
I was going to say fruit pastels,
fruit pastels. Oh yeah, you're meant
peanut M&Ms.
peanut M and M's.
There
Yeah,
are other look. There's a lot of good. Not good. There's a lot of other stuff that you can buy. You don't have to buy what I just said. There's plenty out there. Take your pick.
lots of poison. Um, and everyone says modern life or how society works is we're all meant to be in relationships. We're all meant to be coupled up, aren't we? So and we live in this sort of romantic ideal that we're just going to see someone across a room, fall in love, and that's going to be our happily ever after. So
I like the term. I think it's really great. It's like we're in love with the idea of being in love.
yeah, yeah, totally, totally. So yeah, I was just crashing around. I think late 30s, early 40s, in a real rush as well. There was a real sort of, oh my god, everything, I need to do this before a certain point, otherwise it's all going to be too late. Um and there was a chaos to my life that I wasn't willing to reflect on or actually acknowledge. And I
Can you?
don't think, I mean, even you and me and our friendship, I don't think it was immediately apparent to you, and I don't think it was immediately apparent to a lot of people. It was only my sister who's close enough to me to sort of point out, actually, you're really doing yourself a lot of harm here.
Yeah. I was just gonna say you used the word chaos, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that could be so many different things. What is chaos to you?
What is chaos to me?
Yeah.
There was for me, it's a lack of control. It's well, not even control. It's a lack of yeah, no, it is control. It's a lack of I may talk to you about doing one thing, but then I'll go and do something completely different. It's a lack of integrity. This is what I believe in, this is what I think, but and actually I'll go and do this and do something completely different.
Unmanageability as well.
Yeah. And it was out of my control. It's how it felt.
And why? Why?
I would say because there was a level of addiction to it.
Okay.
And there was a level of yeah, like there was not any humility. There was no real understanding of where or what I was or who I am.
So, okay, I understand what you're saying. I get it. Gonna presume anyone listening. No, I'm not gonna presume. Maybe people listening understand. Maybe they don't. Who knows? Um, or they relate. Who knows? But I do because I get it, and it's not because I'm clever. People that don't get it are not clever. It's just I relate because I've got that awareness. I've learned about this stuff, studied it, I've lived it, and I had to recover it,
Mm-hmm.
discover it, explore it, examine it, and process it and work on it. So, um, the humility part, because I get it, right? So you're in that chaotic addiction, as you put it, of unskillful conduct, right? How does one go from that to suddenly waking up and going, oh, right, okay, I've got some humility now, and I can start to change the outcome for a better one?
um for me, and this is, I guess, I I've tried to explore this with other people because it's not until you're willing to do anything about it, until you're willing to really change. And so often it takes a crisis, it takes something really bad to happen. And
The
then you're like,
gift,
the
the gift
gift,
of desperation.
the gift of desperation. And it's like it's horrible watching other people go through it. Now I've done that because it's like, why can't you just do it now? What do I need to do to force you to get to the cliff edge? What is it that's going to make
Yeah.
you go, yeah, I really need to change this? And I have spoken about this before on this podcast, but for me it was I had a full on breakdown,
Mm.
and I had to be totally honest about how I felt as a human being. And for me, it had been very easy for a lot of years to think that other people had a problem and not me.
Mm-hmm.
And I, yeah, I have many friends and many family members who have suffered from depression. And I think I thought, again, I think there's, like we're talking about humility, and I think I had a huge amount of arrogance in my sense of self and my ego in thinking that actually no, I'm not depressed. Everyone else is depressed. Everyone else has got that problem, not me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so when I actually had a breakdown, and you, me, has to face the fact that depression is real, and that actually you do feel like there's just a black cloud completely
Yeah.
engulfing you, and you're not able to function. And I mean, even then, with all that happening, it still took a doctor to write it on a bit of paper. for me to really believe that's what I had.
What did he write? His
He
phone
wrote
number. His phone
his
number.
phone number. I
Call me
went,
anytime, Mr. Rice.
well,
I'm here for you.
pretty much. It
It-
was, I went to the doctors sort of because, not because my sister told me to, but almost because my sister told me to. There was part of me that was going, no, this is, I'll shake this off. It's just,
Mm,
and it's not that bad. And looking back at the state I was in when I walked into that doctor, I just thought, they're going to laugh at me or they're just going to think there's nothing. And he wrote on this, he said, do you want a sick note? And I was like, no, I'll go back to work. It'll be fine. I just have a day off. And he wrote on the sick note, I think he gave me 3 weeks off straight away. And he wrote
mm.
moderate to severe depression. And he didn't, I don't think he even said the words in the room. It was when I got the sick note in my hand as he printed it out. And I went, oh, this, like, you know, this is quite serious. That I really started to believe that there was something wrong.
That's quite a big jump from moderate to. It's like I'm thinking of ski runs. Like you've got the black run, you've got all of that, right? It's like moderate to severe. Well, there's not much in between. Where's the like maybe advanced depression?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So you was diagnosed having moderate, which in my opinion, moderate's kind of like, yeah, you're a little bit depressed, mate. You need to get over it a little bit. Like, what can you do to transcend this episode that you're in, right?
mm,
And then there's severe, which is, I fucking hate my life. I want to kill myself.
yeah, yeah.
So you gone from moderate to, where was you in that sort of
Well, that's I guess that's what I found really strange about it is it does fluctuate like that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the next day I woke up and I was like, I felt a complete fraud. I was like, I could go back to work. I felt okay. And I sort of had the day on
Yeah.
the couch, and I was like, I feel all right.
But this is part of you mentioned addiction earlier, right? So let's just land on this, right? Because for me, this is the way I see it, right? This is my take on things, right? Is one of the things with addictive thinking, right? And let me just map that out for everyone so we're clear on what I'm saying here, right? Forget the guy in the park or the woman on the bench, with all the cans of beer and and they're fucking, their whole life is on that bench, and they're just, they're homeless and, all of that. Of course, it's that as well, addiction is that's severe addiction, right?
Mm-hmm.
But addiction's so much bigger than that. It's so
Yeah,
more mainstream.
yeah, yeah,
Right? Let's talk about mainstream addiction, right? Which I am gonna be bold and say we can all relate to that,
yeah.
right? Because we can in many ways. Whether you're drinking maybe a little bit too much coffee, or you're on your phone too much, just a little bit too much, or maybe you've had, not just one, not even two. Maybe you've had three little cheeky tugs this morning, chaps. I don't know, but like, or ladies. Um, but like, it can mutate in many different ways, and it's very prevalent in the world we live in. We live in a very addictive mainstream society, right? We do, right? We do. Okay, in my opinion, we fucking do. And um, the problem with addiction is that, and the addictive thinking is that when you're in the fucking mess of it all, when you're in the chaos of it all, which you took us through, when you're in that fucking hell of it all, you're like, please, God, please, I'll do anything not to feel like this. Please, I'll be such a good boy. Please, God. You know, praying hands, might even kneel. You're that fucking desperate. You're on your fucking
Mm-hmm.
knees. It takes you to your knees, this shit, as those say
Mm-hmm.
in certain groups. It does. This shit takes you to your knees praying,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'll do anything. Please, please save my soul, right? And I'm talking about myself there,
Mm-hmm.
right? The problem with it is that in that desperation of it all, the real suffering hell of what addictive behavior and conduct um, is, right, is that there's this other part of it that literally a flip of a coin, blink of an eyelid, you'll suddenly go, I'm all right.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything's fine. What do you mean? Oh yeah, that was yeah, don't worry, that was yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, 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 I'm all good. You know, I swear I'm never doing that again. I swear I'm never gonna do that again. Oh, I feel like death. I'm never doing that again. Flip of a coin. Oh yeah, that was yeah, that's all right. We shrug it off.
Yeah. And I
And
mean,
that's the
that's
addictive, the nature of addiction
yeah.
and addictive thinking.
And that's what was so bizarre about that week was Tuesday was doctors. Wednesday, as I said, I woke up. I was like, oh, might be okay, you know. I think, you know, this might all be just
Yeah,
like a bit of a flash in the pan. And then
yeah.
Thursday, I woke up and it felt like someone was standing on my chest. Felt
Okay.
like I was so out of breath.
What was it? The doctor?
It was the doctor. Yeah, I'd called him and said, could you come and stand on my chest?
He was that kind of doctor.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I
Um,
for an extra £20, I'll bring me other thing. Sorry, sorry, go on.
and I got up and I literally fell on the floor. And it was like, I can't stand. And I just started crying. And it was like that weight. And I'm like, okay. So yesterday was moderate, today severe. And when it gets to that point, and like you said, like that wonderful thing about addiction and the ego is I'm okay.
Yeah.
And like I could have taken myself back to work
Mm,
on that Wednesday. And
mm,
and it, yeah, I had no idea what was in the post the next day.
mm,
You know, you're we are so resilient in ourselves, and so our ego sort of creates this arrogance and
mm.
such self-confidence. Yeah, I'm fine. I can do this.
So what you're describing there is the nemesis of humility.
Yeah,
It's the other end of it. It's
yeah,
the
yeah,
other side of it. Is so humility eradicates that steely desire that the ego has to keep you on the floor eating shit.
yeah. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm going to hold on without the
yeah,
steel cord to whatever object I'm falling off
yeah,
of, whether it's a biplane in the
yeah,
sky or whether it's a skyscraper in Dubai.
yeah. And that's where that saying comes from. Where I don't know if anyone's ever heard this listening, but you think you're free from addictive patterns. Don't get cocky about that, man, because that addictive little fucker that wants you on the floor eating shit, it's doing press ups, man. That's what they say. It's flexing quietly
Mm.
and it's watching. It's waiting. It's waiting for you to be vulnerable and then it'll fucking have you. Um, and that I relate to what we're talking about so much. I mean, humility is is the elixir for what we're talking about. Um, I always talk about this to anyone that I'm working with, and I write about it, and I always say it. That there was three options for me that I used to contemplate in my chaos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the moments of despair and severe dysfunction, severe depression, severe anxiety, severe um, neurosis, psychosis. You know, um, and yeah, first option is I'm contemplating, is this my lot? Am I, is there something wrong with me? Before I actually really landed on, and this is where humility comes in to go, yeah, do you know what? I think I'm battling addiction. Right? It's everything. So I don't have to label it as that. It's everything else.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all right. I'm just having a bad day, right?
It's not it's everyone else as well, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like everyone else's fault. It's not mine.
Yeah. If only I can just get to here, it'll be all
Yeah.
right. Okay. If you can just leave me alone, right? If you can just lend me another like £500, I'll be all right because I'll be able to do this with it, and then it'll change this, and then I'll be all right,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Whilst I'm quietly getting that 500 quid and doing a lot of naughty things with it. Anyway, three options, man. First one is like quite simply, am I just going to continue this path of self destruction, you know, of oblivion, incomplete denial? Do you know what I mean? Experiencing a very slow and painful existence with the constant fear, overwhelming, incapacitating fear of death ever looming. That's the first option that I used to, think about a lot obsessively. Is this what I've got to deal with in my life? The second one is maybe I'll just kill myself, right? And then there's only one other option on the table, right? And that's don't kill myself, right? I've got to consider somehow getting help, right? But the thing with this one is, it has a very, very small window of opportunity to act on that before I talk myself out of it. and continue
Yeah.
with and continue with option the first option, which is the path of destruction and oblivion in complete denial, experiencing a very slow and painful existence with a constant feeling that death is not too far away. They're the three options I used to contemplate a lot. And most people that I talk to about that, they really relate to that
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's kind of that. You've only really got three options on the table, right? Continue business as usual with your conduct, your thinking, your emotional responses to life. This is what we're doing with the TVR people, is we're exploring this shit, right? Because we're using certain buzzwords like addiction and all that kind of stuff. But let's go mainstream with it. I say that everyone is affected by this stuff.
Mm.
Stop thinking of the stigmatized version of addiction and what that means and represents. Like it's well, I'm not that bad because I'm not the guy on the fucking park bench with all them cans of beer fucking littered around his feet, and he's got that, mad fucking batty woman fucking in his grill going, "Rah!" And he's got his mate going, oi, oi, Jeff, come here, and all of that chaos that spews out in the high street of any fucking town in the UK. You know what I'm talking about.
Mm.
That dysfunction. Yeah, of course, that's addiction as well, man. Of course it is. That's severe addiction. But it starts off mainstream. That's what I think, anyway.
Yeah.
On my little passionate rants.
Well, I mean,
My
I think
pash rants.
passions. I mean, I think there's the problem with me for me is that addiction doesn't really get addressed unless it becomes so extreme that it causes that sort of life or death moment or that rock bottom moment. And then for me, there's a horrible. Then this is just my opinion, and you know this might upset a few people, but I feel like it gets glamorized.
What does?
Addiction, like really strong addiction. I think it gets like a point where, oh, you took that much heroin, like I think
Yeah,
there's
of course, yeah.
certain people, rock stars, actors, whatever. It's like, oh, you had this addiction and now you've come out the other side. Isn't that incredible? And now you write your book, and I think there's a glamorization of it. And like you said, I think the more the more mainstream, the fact that there's a level of addiction in us all is what is the problem. Is that we're all capable of going there, for want of a sliding doors moment, but we don't. And if we all went there, then we'd all just be on the streets, smoking spice and walking around like a bunch of zombies. But it's, we all sort of have our own context as to where we end up. And I think it's like this. For me, it's a fear of existence. It's a fear of contemplating the big stuff. And
Yeah.
depending on how much destruction you're causing, depending on how much the addiction's really got you, we live in this sort of form of denial. And you might have a, I don't know, £200 a day cocaine habit, or you
Is
might
that
just
all? Is that all? You a bit of a pussy, ain't you, mate?
or you might have 2 bottles of Chardonnay from Tesco's habit. It's not it's not a sort of scale of like, oh, this addiction's worse than that addiction. It's all about, I'm slowly numbing myself to the reality of what's actually happening. And I know if I drink this much alcohol for this much time, at some point my liver's going to take, no, I don't want to do this anymore. And something bad's probably going to happen. In the same way, if you smoke, in the same way, like there's certain things that we see as acceptable addiction, but it's all about the same thing. It's all about, you know, what's what really is the difference between, a housewife drinking 2.5 bottles of wine a night and someone on the streets jacking up. I mean, it's like they're both doing the same thing. They're
Can I
both,
just, yeah, can I just interject, right? I've known both,
yeah.
worked with both, and yeah, different stories, different fucking whatevers, but feelings, emotions, the fallout, the lack of taking accountability, it's all crystal clear the same, man.
Yeah. And it is a form of slow death. Like you said, that you had a choice. You had these three choices after you've got the denial one, which you can stay in. Then you've got kill myself, and then there's I don't kill myself. And I think for me, any addiction is, oh, I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah,
It's just I'm not thinking about it. I'm
yeah,
choosing not to make that whatever it is really apparent.
yeah.
And if I don't do something about it, it might
Mm,
certain drugs will kill you, could kill you on the spot. Other drugs might take 40 years to work
yeah,
for your system and kill you,
yeah,
but it's still getting to the same point.
yeah, yeah. And drugs is a problem. The word the drugs, stigma attached to it. So remove the drugs. It's like the thing that's going to take you out. Whether that's your your addiction to status.
Yeah.
Some people are fucking hell bent on. They're so hyper focused on what they look like and who they hang out with, and you know what trainers they're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a phenomenon. I'm getting the hang of saying that word. It's a phenomenon. For a lot of young people, they're so addicted to trainers.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a bit of a there's a I don't think it's there yet, but it won't be long before there is a sneakers anonymous fucking group. I don't know why I use the American word. Fucking sneakers. What the fuck is all that about? Where does that come from?
No idea.
Sorry, that's just me getting on my high horse. Trainers, as we
Preps.
say, trainers, as we say in the UK.
Yeah.
Um,
Fresh crepes is what the kids at school say.
Creps. All right. Um, so what was I saying? I've just put myself off piece because I was just getting on one. Oh yeah,
The
Trainers
drugs.
Anonymous. Trainers
Yeah, yeah.
Anonymous. So it's a very well-known thing within the support group community, right, of addiction, overcoming addiction. So there's a lot of these sort of support groups for whatever. And it's a bit of a fucking tongue-in-cheek. Well, it's an open joke that people put down drugs, drink, sex, gambling, whatever it is, shopping, screens, yeah,
Sugar.
sugar, yeah, yeah, all of that. And they're sitting in these support groups. You look at their feet, right? And that's not a judgment. That's fucking straight as observation that everyone talks about and has a little giggle and a grin about. Got new, mate. Got new trainers today, mate. Yeah. You know, they've got a trainer addiction. You know, so it's like these young people, these youths, these young mavericks, parents, any parents out there? Are you getting hemorrhaged on the old wallet from your kids scan? Dad, I need a new pair of. I'm not going to name them because there's plenty to choose from. Dad, can I get some new sneakers this weekend from JJJDDD Sport? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I don't know. Am I? You don't want to have an opinion on this, do you? You're letting me just prattle on. I'm throwing
I
myself under the bus here.
I definitely know people that got shopping addictions, so I think yeah, trainers is part of that.
Well, look, let me tell you something, right? Where I record my studio room, right?
Hmm.
Where I record, I look outside, right? I live in this sort of like off this lane. It's like the Bat Cave.
There's a T-Rex in there somewhere, isn't
All
there?
right, and there's a couple of properties dotted about. There's like a couple on that bit, and there's a couple on that bit, and I look out, and there's a like the lane that drives through the centre, and I see the delivery drivers coming.
Hmm.
I know what's written on their vans.
Hmm.
Some of them are unmarked, but I can tell because they've got a certain swagger. Some of these drivers,
Hmm.
all right, and they're delivering parcels that have been acquired from certain online premises. And I'm telling you, man, I've got one neighbour. They're there every fucking day, right? Now, this neighbour took a liking to my cat Rupert.
Okay.
And I was like, wait, get your own fucking cat. And do you know what they said? Can't
No.
afford one. Can't afford the vet bills.
Wow.
I had to bite my tongue. Bullshit. If you delete a certain fucking membership that you've got that you pay for, right? That means that you have these deliveries every day. You could buy a fucking lot more than a cat.
Yeah.
Have I just gone completely on one there?
Yeah. Yeah. You have.
Okay.
Well, I understand that. Rupert means a lot to you. So if
Mm.
someone tried to steal Rupert, I could see why you might go full Liam Neeson on them.
I will find you. But anyway, look. So, is that not addiction?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think if we're trying to drag ourselves back to some sort of point in terms of humility, I think there's a lot of us that don't really know ourselves, that don't really have a accurate self-assessment of where we sit in this world at this moment in time. And
Yeah.
it's a really difficult it's a really difficult piece of work to do. And I'm going to use the word enlightened. It's that sort of, but and I know that it
Mm.
might have sort of religious connotations in terms of, but I do feel it is about having a faith of some sort in something bigger than yourself.
Ooh, okay. Getting cosmic now.
Because I do think it's just about knowing your place in the
Knowing
network.
me, knowing you.
Yeah.
Ah. Sorry, keep going.
It is about knowing knowing the, your place in the world, your order in the structure of humanity, sort of thing, without making it too vast. But I do think it's about understanding that.
Mm.
I do think it's about knowing that pretty much everyone, unless it's some, I don't know, some weird shit that's happening to you, the majority of the majority of stories have been lived already and written, and I do believe that there's always going to be people out there, however however much you think they don't have in common with you, there's probably more people have more in common with you,
Mm.
and there's more connection out there than people think. And I think it's only through finding those connections and finding that strength through community that you feel like you can change.
Okay, this is good. This is good. Right, so let me just land on this because I'm getting I'm inspired, right? So to inspired to say this, right? So we're all about that, right?
Mhm.
We're all about that. Anyone managed to get through the season two trailer? Um, we was outlining that. You woke up at 3 in the morning with an aha, I need to write a script, and you laid it all out about what's important, what are we
Mhm.
trying to do here, what are we offering, why are we bothering doing this? Is this just for me and you, or is it greater than that? Now I find humility in just turning up, me and you, pressing record, chewing the fat, and going, do you know what? I really got a lot from that. And then we just so happen to upload it. Well, we don't. And maybe you want to do a quick shout out to SAV.
Is that how we abbreviate
Yeah,
to for Sue? Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Sue, for all you do.
yeah, she's awesome, right? And but these get uploaded by Sue, and and they go out, right, to whoever may receive them, and hopefully there's some humility with how it's received, right? And I'm sure anyone that listens to this all the way through, this is big up to anyone that does. Big shout out to anyone who takes the time and has the humility to shut their fucking rampant pecking voice in their head up. Shut the fuck up, sit down. I need to sit and listen, take a moment and just receive. I just need to tune in. I just need to feel it and join the frequency, right? And then let it bubble gently, like a little gentle, soft, percolating machine.
Okay.
Bubble, bubble, bubble. And see how I feel with what I'm receiving. How does this affect me? Maybe I've got the humility to take some of it away and share it to others who might need it. And that's a beautiful gift. We're having the gift to you, and then you receiving that gift, and then you're like, oh, I've received the gift. Now I'm going to pass that gift on, right? Now, what I'm describing, it may sound like I'm just being a dick, right? I'm not. I'm being serious in a roundabout way. That essence, that that formula that I'm describing, that act of doing, right? Not thinking, doing, right? That act is like the essence of life, of how to build your own sense of foundation within yourself, of strength, of balance, of wellness. And it goes beyond that. So you start with ourselves. Me and Ben, we start with ourselves. I do what I need to do. Ben, you do it. Then we join together. Then it becomes two become one. One of the best songs ever written.
No.
And then two become one. Who's your favourite, Ben?
My favourite Spice Girl.
Yeah.
Don't know. I don't
Come
know.
on, man. Who was it?
Probably Baby Spice.
See, mine's changed as
Has
I've
it?
changed. Yeah.
Okay.
I used to be all over Ginger,
Did you?
but now I'm like taking a step back and I've evolved. I'm like, yeah, that was a bit, I don't know what happened there. Although, you know, I'm not knocking, you know. Should we move on?
We can do. I mean, I have got a story about her.
Oh, hang on. Do we
It's
need
a
the
safe
law?
story. There's no lawyers involved.
Okay.
Uh,
But I was just going to end on this.
go on.
Now I really think that Sporty,
Do you?
like back in the day, I thought Sporty, nah, 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 nah. But she's grown into such a swan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen her lately?
No.
Check her out.
Okay.
Right, go on. What was you going to say? What was you going to say?
A couple of schools ago, Jerry came round the school on a
Oh,
visit.
really? What
Yeah.
the one that I know,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
school?
yeah. That
Yeah,
one.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Uh, and it
Really?
was just this really weird because I didn't really have much to do with her being toured around the school. I think
Well,
our head
she
obviously took control of that and was
she
milking up the celebrity.
she grew up near not far down the
Yeah,
road.
I think she was Watford, didn't she?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but yeah, she was walking around the school when I sort of bumped into her in the stairwell, and so I think the head actually said, "Oh, this is Jerry Halliwell," and I was like, "Yeah, really?" Like it was a bit of a weird introduction. It's like, how do you introduce someone that's really famous that everyone knows? Um, but yeah, I just remember her being really, really small. She
Yeah,
was tiny,
tiny. Yeah,
absolutely tiny. But she was
she's
very,
lovely,
yeah, really lovely.
lovely.
I
Yeah.
think there was talk about she won. The reason she was coming around was because she was thinking about opening up her own school.
Ah,
But I don't know
okay.
if it. Well, no, I know it never happened.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
That's my Jerry story.
I thought it was gonna be a little bit more.
There's no
Okay.
nothing salacious or anything.
Yeah. No, I mean, anyway, what? Why are we talking about Spice Girls, man?
Because you brought up the song "To Become One."
Oh yeah, greatest song ever written. Right. So,
It's gone from being one of the best songs ever written to the greatest.
so anyway, look, people, anyone listening, join us at the velvetrevolutionpod.com. Who's your favorite Spice Girl?
That's the kind of depth we want to get to on this
Past,
podcast.
yeah, past and present, right? It's got a span over three. How long were they? Two decades, 3 decades,
It's
90s,
90s.
90s.
They're getting into their fourth decade now, aren't they?
Yeah, so over, let's say 3 decades. What was it in the first decade? In the 90s, what was your favorite? In the noughties, and then into what are we in now? What are these called?
20s.
Are they? Yeah, of course they are. Uh, why are we doing this? Why am
I
I
don't know.
hanging on to this one? Let's move on. Right. So anyway, two become one. So
Yeah.
the point is, right, getting back on topic with humility,
Mm-hmm.
right? For me, when I was the one before two became one was written, and it was
Mm-hmm.
just the one, no humility.
Okay.
Two become one, I can have some humility, right? And what I mean by this is I'm talking about going back to those three options that I was talking about. Do I stay frozen and stuck in fear, flatlining into oblivion, doing the same thing over and over, perpetuating the same behaviors, right? Expecting a different outcome, but that's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different outcome. That
Mm-hmm.
is pretty much the definition of insanity,
Yeah, it is. It
right?
definitely is.
So why am I choosing to do that? Because am I fucking insane or am I just missing the point, right? Or am I just frozen in fear? But anyway, that's my first option, and I'm living like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, usually when you're doing that and you're in that headspace, you're on your fucking own with it,
Mm-hmm.
right? You may have some counterparts. You may have a posse of fucking dudes and dudettes and beefer, let's go to beefer. And you got all your boys and your mates and your girls, whatever, and you're all hopping on a flight to beefer. There are other fucking entertainment fucking holidays you can go on, but you're going somewhere like that.
Bognor Regis.
Blackpool's not bad.
Yeah.
The pier. Yeah,
There you
went to a wicked karaoke bar there.
go.
Yeah.
Did you sing Two to Come One?
Um, might have done actually, because it was
Yeah.
around about that time,
Okay.
that period. Could have done. It's highly probable.
Mm.
Um, so um, where were we? FIFA. Right.
Yeah.
So you're surrounded by your crew,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, your partners in crime, and you got that sort of FIFA attitude, right? And I'm not knocking like crack on. It's great that you go in there and you're having a good time and you're having a good holiday. But the mentality is FIFA. It's kind of like you got loads of people around you, but when your head hits the pillow and the lights go out and you're on your own and you've got to face your fucking reality, are you actually really euphoric? Like truly
Mm.
enlightened? Like you used the word enlightened? Are you? Are you? Or are you just like incapacitated with mental illness and fucking addiction and fear of taking accountability? Because my great mate Nick, the Greek, I don't know why I said Nick the Greek. Originally he's got Greek ancestors, and I think his father's Greek from Greek. But I don't see him as I don't know why I'm going with that. But Nick,
Okay, Nick.
right, my mate Nick, brilliantly said, and he works in this space of mental illness
Hmm.
and addiction, right? And he said that addiction, quite simply, is not taking responsibility for your life. It's
Mm.
basically just avoiding life. It's hiding.
Mm.
It's relinquishing. It's basically not growing up,
Yeah.
right? So I'm too overwhelmed by being an adult, so I'll just hide in addiction, right? Don't matter how old you are. That's the person. Think of that stereotypical person in the park, kicking all the empty beer cans about. That person, what they normally that kind of stereotypical addict looks about probably about maybe a century and a half old,
Yeah.
but they're probably about 38,
Hmm.
right? But it don't matter how old you are. You're not taking responsibility. You're staying frozen. You're not growing up. You're not an adult. Okay. And I've gone down so many branches, I've completely lost myself in the woods. But my point was that option one of staying in that oblivion of that mentality and mindset, it's usually me on my own. Don't matter how many people I've got around me, and I could be in beefer with all those people, but when my head hits the pillow and I'm on my own with myself, that's when you really might get in touch with your truth of where you're actually at, possibly. Right?
It's not normally when your head hits the pillow, because at that point you're normally unconscious.
Well, yeah,
It's when you wake up in the morning
all the middle of the
and the hell
conscious
in your head is
comes back.
absolutely
Yeah, 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 yeah.
exacerbated by whatever you've done the night before.
Yeah. Now you're right. And the second option, kill myself. There's a loneliness to that.
Mm.
There's a separation. There's a disconnect. There's a alienation. There's an isolation. It's me, I, my. There is no we. There is no community. There is no two become one. There's just me on my own, and I'm contemplating death because I'm overwhelmed and I don't know. I can't see a way out. And then
Mm.
the only other option on the table is you don't kill yourself, and you don't carry on. You choose option three. You choose life. Train spotting.
Mm.
It's on t-shirts in the 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Frankie. Was it Frankie Goes to Hollywood?
No,
Tucson?
Wham. Didn't Wham
It's
use it as
Wham.
well? Wham.
Yeah.
There you
Okay.
go. We've somehow got Wham into this fucking deep, serious discussion, conversation on what we're talking about. But look, this is where I'm getting to with it. This is the point I'm making. Humility is required. That's the only ingredient that can activate. You you need humility is required. Humility is the antidote to be able to relinquish option one and two and step into three.
Mm.
and start to choose life and live life and start to walk a different path. It's liberation, it's freedom, it's community, it's a togetherness, it's a connection, a reconnection, it's a community. You can't do it on our own.
No,
We have
no.
to come out of the chaos of whatever it is we're in, whatever dysfunction is playing out in our lives. Humility is the tonic. Is it
Mm.
not? Is it not?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the point where you say, however strong you think you are, and you know, there are certain individuals that appear in life that seem to have done everything on their own, but I never really believe them. I always think there's got to be a bigger network than that. I, if you are so strong minded or so strong willed that you can do it all on your own, then yeah, your strength of character, your the power of your mind, it must be so incredibly strong. I just think that the most of us humans are struggling, and it's not until we admit that to each other and have honest conversations where we are really clear on where we are as human beings, which means we're capable of doing really horrible things, we're capable of doing really good things, and we're capable of doing things that no one's ever going to notice. And
Yeah.
that's life. That is being human. And it doesn't, and, and not as long as we're not murdering people and causing dreadful harm to people, then we're allowed to be human and to go through these different parts of our lives, surely, and say, well, that, yes, I wasn't good enough back then, or I made some bad choices then, but now I'm going to make a good choice, and we surely we're allowed to grow. I think that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and become more self-aware and more open-minded and more honest.
Yeah. There's an honesty to humility.
Yeah.
It's required. You can't be humble if you're not honest.
Mm.
If you're not honest, you can't be humble.
Yeah.
It's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think, unless you're really, uh well, you no you yeah, you have to have a really strong sense of who you are. And I think it takes people years, and it's definitely taken me a lot of time of my life has been about working out who I actually am and what I actually believe in and want to be. And I've sold myself short many, many times.
Yeah.
And and as I said, I hope, I hope the hurt or pain I've caused other people isn't too much. I know I've hurt other people.
It's okay, man. Right? Because you was unskillful.
Yeah.
Right? You was unskillful. I was unskillful. Right? I did things that hurt myself and hurt others and hurt the world around me.
Yeah.
Right? It had a ripple effect. Right? But I was unskillful. Right? I was yet to learn how to act in a skillful way. I was good at certain things. I could be skillful at certain things, but there's a lot of stuff I didn't get right, and I hurt a lot of people because of that. But it's all about, you know, realizing that there's some humility just to accept that,
Yeah.
just to own that bit, to put my hands up and say I've harmed a lot of people. Like, do you know what? Right, when I sat with um, Donny Scott, I always call him Donny Scott. I write about him, and I call him Donny Scott. That's not his real name.
Hmm.
But I didn't want to write about him in the way I'm writing about him and use his real name. So I called him Donny Scott. But one thing is true, he was a tough Scottish Glaswegian
Hmm.
drug treatment worker. All right, he's a badass. He was a local guy to where I used to live, not far from where you are now.
Hmm.
Donny Scott. don't know why I tried to do it like that. And he was a great teacher. He was a great mentor. You know, he was a sober sensei. He was my first sober sensei when I started to sober up and and start to work through the wreckage of my past, as they say. Right, and he was a great, great man who taught me a lot. And one of the first things he said to me is, "Take the cotton wool out your fucking ears and shove that shit in your mouth." I was like, "Oh, okay." Sorry, Donny. You know, so so we're clear. What he meant was, shut the fuck up and listen. Right. So again, I was learning how to have some humility
Hmm.
because my ego was so big. It's what happens when you've got like had years of savage cocaine addiction, you know, and all the stuff that builds that ego up, and you know, life. You know, I had such a big ego. Salesman, a hooky salesman. You know, I had such a big salesman attitude. Thought I knew it all. And he was the perfect guy. And you know what? I could have chosen anyone. I picked him. I handpicked Donny Scott for a reason. Because I knew I needed it. All right. So again, humility to be able to do that as an act of humility, to choose someone that I knew I needed. Because a good teacher will challenge the student. I needed to be challenged, and he did it. And I knew he'd do it because I knew he was revered. He was a scary guy, a tough guy. He told you how it was straight, bang. Not only like that, but he did it in a Glaswegian way. You know, he was a tough guy, tough looking guy.
Hmm.
He had a story, he had a history, man. He was a fucking badass. And you know, he sat me down, and that was one of the first lessons he taught me. You know, but then what he also showed me was how to take accountability for some of the kind of unskillful things that I'd done. And do you know what? I wrote a list. You know, it was a process. You know, there's a lot of support groups that you can tap into people, right? Just if you're not sure, you know, go and find out for yourself, right? There's just whatever you feel you're struggling with. You know, if you're struggling with, I don't know, food issues, then go find out. You know, go and explore what support groups are out there in my community that cater for that sort of thing, or if it's drugs, alcohol, whatever, right? But there's a common thing that is done within these support groups. You know, they have certain programs that are on offer, you know, that help you navigate and work through, you know, how am I wired? That wreckage of my past. How can I work through that? Well, I can't do it on my own. Me on my own has my best thinking has got me to this point where I need fucking help. So now now two become now what, what is it? One become two, two
Two
become one.
become one.
I was saying two become one, weren't I?
Yeah, that is it. That's what it is. Because it's a
God,
romantic song about two.
God Almighty.
I'm sure it's about Posh and
I
Bex.
was, yeah, I'm fucking losing it, mate. I don't know why I was using that as a metaphor. But anyway, look, point is that um, I need to get with someone else, yeah,
Hmm.
and own it and work through some shizzle. And one of the things that came out of all that whole process is humility. You know, of approaching some of the people and the things that I've harmed and making it right. You know, can anyone honestly say they've done that process in their life? I don't know. I know I have, and it's brought me a lot of humility.
And is there a point then where do you feel like you have any uh, guilt in terms of anything that's happened in the past now? Do you think having done that work that you're now at a point where you're like, I don't look at any person and feel a little bit of shame or.
Honestly, right? Maybe there's some residual there, but I, when I was still living in the place that held a lot of ghosts, yeah, where my story once played out, because it's just a story that once played out, right?
Mhm.
I would walk around a certain corner and have a jolt of a memory of something that might have happened there. You know, whether it's even just like meeting someone there to score drugs or something, you know what I mean, or whatever.
Mhm.
Or I'd walk past a certain pub and there'd be a flood of memory of certain things that might have happened in the garden there, or in the pub, or outside the pub. You know what I mean? Or the people that are associated to that pub. And it's endless. So the crime scene, I always call it the crime scene, where my story once played out. And there's a lot of places. It wasn't just my old stomping ground. It's fucking everywhere. You know, I still walk around London. There's fucking loads of places in London that I have association to.
Mm. Mm.
So for me to move away it wasn't me running away. It was actually me coming to somewhere which is really sacred, which I haven't fucking got any association with in that way, to be able to just do a true metamorphosis and heal. So to answer your question, I don't really feel I have because I'm not triggered. You know, there was some residual stuff, but now I've become the man I have where I am, and forgiveness is a big part of it. First and foremost for myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Forgiveness for me is the thing that frees me. I've worked for all the, forgiveness with other people, people that have harmed me. There's no ill will. There may be some residual stuff there, but nothing that has any power over me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting because there's a, I think once we have lived a life, then yeah, you're right. Every space that we've been, every corner that we turn, there's just a lot of ghosts, a
Yeah.
lot of past events that you can see replaying, and
Yeah.
yeah, and there is a part of me that still is reliving those, I guess, on a daily basis.
But it's relevant because you can only work through stuff if you're being punched on the nose, metaphorically speaking, by it
Mm,
to work through it. You've tried burying it. Look where that got you. You got to face and confront stuff sometimes. You can't just bury it and fucking hope it goes away. See, where's it going? We have to work through stuff.
mm,
Yeah. So it's not a race. You ain't gonna do it all at once. You know, mine's been. It's like the layers of the onion. It's been years. Been doing this for years. This journey. So it's all been a slow peeling away of the layers. The first layer is always the hardest layer. And guess what that layer is? It's denial. It's the toughest layer. You got to get past the denial and the bullshit that you're telling yourself that there's not a problem when there is a fucking problem.
first cut is the deepest.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Um,
I don't think that song's actually about recovery. I think that's more about someone hurting them in love,
what's
isn't it?
that?
The first cut is the deepest.
I thought you were talking about two become one again.
No.
I just realised that two become one. I was using that in the wrong way because I was saying that it's one become two. It should have been, going from being on your own to then you're sharing with someone. So it should be two become one. It doesn't make sense to me now. I thought I
No.
was, do you know what I mean? Does that make sense to you or
We
not?
uh
I was
um,
trying to say you go from being on your own to you share. So you share something with someone else and admit, not to yourself, but to someone else that there's a problem. So it goes from being one to two. But
so it's
I was,
problem shared is a problem halved,
yeah.
that
So,
kind of
so,
thing.
so is that two becomes one? Does that mean that it becomes smaller? The problem becomes smaller because it becomes two? I don't know where I was going with that, but anyway, we had a little. Well, we didn't. I had a little fucking complete jazz out over the Spice Girls and two become one. Somehow tried to weave it into what I was saying. But anyway, hey ho. Only human. Don't always get it right.
There you go.
Oh
That's a
dear.
good level of humility
There you go.
to
Again,
understand
humility.
and
Humility.
modesty about your own limits.
Yes. Humility is being able to put your hands up and saying, I don't know. Sometimes I get it wrong.
Mm.
I'm not sure. I
And
need
how many
help.
people do you meet in life that can really do that?
Well, look, you know them fucking numpties that govern everyone, right? So, and it could be anywhere. It could be your workplace. It could be, you know the ones,
Mm.
the numpties. Get paid a lot of money to tell us like what to do. And it could be in your workplace. You're at the top of the stack, so you essentially could be one of those numpties, Mr. Rice,
That
in
could
your
be.
school because you're at the top of the stack and you've got this power over other people,
Hmm.
right? But I know you. You're one of them people that would go, do you know what? I'm not sure about this. What do you lot think? Can we have a chat about this, a conversation, an open dialogue, and figure it out together? And do you know what? Let's get the dinner ladies in as well, and the dinner man, and a janitor, and we'll get the window cleaners in as well. Maybe the janitor does the windows. I don't know in your school.
Yeah, yeah, we have one.
But let's get
It's Hong Kong
everyone.
Phooey.
Let's get the lollipop lady from outside or lollipop man. Get them all in the room and let's have a chat. And we're all on a level, open discussion. What does everyone think? Because I haven't got all the answers.
Hmm.
Humility, right? That's what should be going on. But is it going on? Is it going
No.
on? Is that what is happening in your workplace? Is that what is happening in your school? Or is that what happens with the powers that be in the universe what we're all governed by? Do they put their hands up and say, do you know what, you lot, we ain't got the answers. We're fucking it up quite a bit, actually, to be honest, because we're out of our depth. So we need some humility and just admit we haven't got all the answers and we need some help. So email us, join us at the Velvet Revolution pod.com.
See
but
if,
but
see if people can write in about one, who their favorite Spice Girl is, depending on what decade it is, and two, do you have the answers? And if so, could you email us in, please?
Yeah, yeah. But this is the thing. Certain people can't do that because when you're in a position of power, you can't admit you're fucking fallible. You're not
Mhm.
allowed to admit that you ain't got all the answers. You can't do that. I mean, it doesn't mean to say you couldn't do it, but they don't do it. They can't. Why? Because it's to do with there's an order, and someone has to be seen as up the top. And then there's all us lot underneath that just have to be like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, we'll do that then. We'll blindly do that. If you say so, then yeah, it must be true. We'll do that then. And then we wonder why we're having a fallout from that emotionally, mentally, spiritually. We're not living in accordance to the natural flow and ebb of life because we're not meant to be living in a certain way. The system's fucked, whether it's in your school, or your workplace or fucking on a greater level. It's not always is it functional, is it dysfunctional? Well, only you know. I know how it is for me, which is why I'm turning into Wild Man Dave. I'm gonna build a house out of Lego and wood. There are other building blocks you can buy.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you think we've sort of got enough in there to cover what we think humility is, how it affects us? I don't know, Mr. Rice. What do you reckon? Do you reckon we've got it or not?
Yeah, I think we have. I don't think we're going to reach any further in conclusions at this point.
Do you think we should have some humility and know when to stop? Do you feel like we've got to recognize it's reading the room, it's having some self-awareness to know, do you know what? I feel like we need to stop now. Shall we
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah.
So on that note, right, I just want to say it's been emotional.
Always.
Vinny Jones, man, lock, stock, and two smoking barrels. That's where that first came about, wasn't it? That
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
Fucking genius. Such a simple fucking line. It's been emotional. Delivered from him though. Well,
Yeah.
not I don't think anyone was expecting him to even be in a film,
No,
let
not at that
alone
point.
come up with an iconic line like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But on that note, it has been emotional. Not to the point where I'm gonna, be troubled by it. But I just want to thank um, yourself for participating.
Thank you, as ever.
I want to give a big shout out to Suam V, Suam, who does all our backroom stuff. So thank you, and thanks everyone for listening. I feel like we need to give props to everyone that's joined us, and if you're still listening right now, you really have joined us. You have joined in the conversation, which is what we are endeavouring to do. So, people, website, thevelvetrevolutionpod.com. It's not a lot to look at this point,
Yeah,
but we
yeah.
have got one, and we're going to keep saying it until it actually does happen when we're working on it. Maybe it will. By the time this episode comes out, it might be something on there. It might be a picture.
I think
And
we're manifesting it, aren't we?
yeah, we are. But check it out. Check it out. Just please, we want people to be involved and write to us. Join us at the velvetrevolutionpod.com. Letters, scribblings. Note it if you don't want your name read out. Mark it as anonymous, man. But we'd love to read out your name. Oh, that brings me on to something. Before we sign off,
Okay.
all right? Got an email. We did get an email.
Did we get an email?
Yeah, it's not like it dropped in, right?
Yeah.
And it's from a guy called Carlos,
Okay.
right? So big shout out Carlos. Now I might fucking respond to this email. Say, do you know what, Carlos? Because we will respond to people. If anyone writes in, this is the whole point. We're gonna put stuff up on a notice board on the website, right?
Yep.
So send us in whatever you want to send in. We'll put it up. Whether it's art, music, if you're a songwriter, right, chuck us a video, links, whatever. We'll fucking post it. We want to support the indie, man. It's all about supporting indie communities, right? Building it. But anyway, big shout out to Carlos, who works for a company to do with podcasts. And it's kind of maybe borderline spam. I'll give it that. It could be. But I think it's actually quite good because I want to read it anyway. I don't give a fuck if it's spam. Hello, how's it going? Question mark. Hope all is well. So it's really polite for a spam.
Yeah, yeah.
I have some cool information that might interest you. Your podcast, The Velvet Revolution, has good performance in Apple podcast rankings within the last 30 days in brackets.
Hmm.
There are other platforms, by the way. We are
Hmm.
on other platforms. Guess what position we are, Ben? There's a chart.
Uh,
And it's and we're in the category of society and culture, and then in brackets it says Spain because it's Carlos.
568th.
No, we're 237.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, that's higher than I thought.
We're 237 out of 250.
In Spain.
So just wanted to drop that in. Carlos, thank you for that. We're going to
So,
monitor that. I'm going to monitor that, see if we can
yeah,
get up to at least in the top 100.
that'd be lovely.
Anyway,
We could, just be Carlos and us communicate with each other.
yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
hilarious, hilarious. Anyway, so all it leaves me to do is ask you, how did that go? How do you feel that went?
yeah, I thought that was a good conversation as ever.
All right, well, look, as ever, it's been good. And I just want to leave it at this by saying we'll be back. So make sure you tune in, feel it, continue to join the frequency.
That voice is wrong. It's so wrong.
Am I going to do that every fucking week?
No, you're not.
Okay. All right, man. It's been good. I'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, take care, my friend.
All right. See you later, man.
Bye.